Hi guys, what is going on? The Discovery here, back for a video. Holy shit, it's been a long time. And quite frankly, I owe you guys a good video. So everything in my family with my family is now sorted. The house move's done, which is great. I now have more time on me. And now I can finally make videos and showcase this deck profile. Holy moly, have I been wanting to showcase this. So this is my variant of DRYTRON. DRYTRON, I would say right now in this current format before Power of the Elements, has actually been a very powerful deck. Best part I love about DRYTRON is the fact that there's just not one way in playing it. You play it how you want. I've made my deck this way because of the fact that I found that the Protect the Castle sort of Vanity's Ruler variant is just really, really predictable now. It's not really that optimal. I have created this version of it because of the fact that I was able to bring in some of the old cards that I loved from back in the day. I used to love NEKROZ. I used to love SHADDOLL. So this variant is based mainly around a different type of lock. In fact, I'm going to showcase you a combo afterwards, which I don't really always do. I don't always showcase combos, which I really should. And you'll really see the true power that this deck actually has, and the actual versatility is insane. So without further ado, let's go into it. For monsters, we're obviously playing 3 copies of Alpha. Alpha's the one that's going, when you tribute, you're just going to summon search your ritual monsters. Majority of the time, unless you open it, is going to be the Benton. Zeta searches all your Drytron, Meteor Drytron. So you always want to usually you want to just start your combos off Alpha Zeta. If you already open the Meteor Drytron, you have like another Drytron name in your hand. Always use try and avoid using Zeta. But if you do have Zeta in your hand or anything, then whatever. Just use the effect. Triple Gamma. Gamma's the one of the most important ones, but you tend to always use them in order of like Alpha, then Zeta, then Gamma. Just how it is. And then we're playing double Delta. I was playing 3 Delta, but I kind of realized that bumping up the numbers on Diviner might have just been better, considering on how often I'm summoning the Benton just to get the further search. Doesn't actually really benefit too much. Usually you're going to use Diviner once, maybe twice in a game, depending on how the game's going or what the game state is saying. However, I much prefer just playing just 2 Delta. Just in general. Try out 3 if you want. I know a few people who cut Delta to 1 because they play Prosperity. I don't own Prosperity, nor am I spending £200 on a playset. So for that reason, I am just sticking with 2 Delta. But yeah. So that's it for our DRYTRON monsters. Very straightforward, very standard. Onto the fairies and the other cards that you'll see in here. So obviously, again, Triple Diviner of the Herald. I really like this card. I like opening it turn 1 as well. You might question when you see my extra deck why play 3. But again, it comes down to a lot of personal preference. I do just like playing 3 copies of this card. Opening it is very nice. And then double Benton, semi-limited. If this was at 3, you'd play 3 copies of it. Opening this card is fantastic. And then we're playing the 1 Cyber Angel, Natasha, the 1 Editon. And then, obviously, for the DRYTRON, what's it called, Ritual Monster, we are playing, obviously, the Draconids. This card is actually far stronger than what people think. You don't always see everyone going into this, but Draconids actually saves your bacon so much because of the fact that it can't be targeted when you summon it off using just 2 DRYTRON monsters. I've broken boards so easily using Draconids because of the fact that it just can't be targeted. It can be dropleted, but apart from that, that's practically it. The 1 NEKROZ of Bryonic. We play this because of the ritual spell that is in the deck. I'm going to showcase you, obviously, the combo, as I said at the end of this video. And this card here is actually by far one of the most underrated cards to put in a DRYTRON deck in general. The only thing that's annoying is the fact that it does have 2,300 attack points, so therefore it can't be just detached 1 off of, say, DRYTRON Fafnir, Move to Fafnir. just because of the fact that it has 2,300. It can be summoned back, obviously, with Meteor Drytron, but you'd have to be wasting 3 materials to summon this card. In certain aspects, it can be reliable against cards that cannot be extra deck monsters that cannot be targeted, destroyed. This is a great anti-Mirror Jade card if you're playing against branded Despos, because when you play against Despos, obviously, if you send the Mirror Jade to the graveyard, your board at the end phase is going to get blown up, which isn't exactly what we want. And then I'm playing the one Beto Buster. I'm contemplating whether or not to main deck or side deck this card. I have a feeling eventually it probably will be put in the side deck, because you kind of only really want to see this card activate or use the effect for the unlocking during your opponent's turn. So you only really want to open this card turn 1 and make your Beto Buster play turn 1. But if you do open the card, just remember at the same time it can be used as for Meteor Drytron, because it is a machine and it has 2,000 attack. So you can use this for ritual summoning with Meteor Drytron, which is actually pretty damn good. We don't play any hand traps in here. As per usual, the main reason for why it is because that's Drytron. Drytron, we don't really need to incorporate hand traps. For our ritual other cards, we're obviously playing the 1 copy of Meteor Drytron. Meteor Drytron is very standard. You only need to play 1. If it gets crowed, it can be a bit annoying, but you can deal with it because of the Link and XYZ monsters that we are playing in this deck. I play the 1 copy of Drytron Fafnir. Drytron Fafnir is actually a very underrated card, and this actually has saved my ass so many times when I've like opened this in Zeta, and I've opened like Fafnir or a terraforming in my what's it called, terraforming in my hand. This card is really good because you could just search Drytron Nova or even the Meteor Drytron. A lot of the time it will be just the Meteor the Drytron Nova that you'll search, but if you open say Delta and Alpha, then you can search the Meteor Drytron, which means it will just save your ass, and Delta's effect will also trigger, so you're actually able to get a draw off of that as well, which is really good. Triple Drytron Nova. This is your E-Tally, basically. See loads of people play 2 copies of it. Don't max this card out. Get as much consistency as possible. Special summon those Drytron monsters and get popping off as soon as possible. Play double Preparation of Rites. I'm contemplating to play 3 copies of it, and again, I will showcase the combos at the end. The second combo is absolutely cracked. But yeah, Preparation of Rites is actually really good just in general. Just obviously gets to search your Benton or search whatever you need. A lot of the time as well is if you do the combo that I'll show you at the end, you can actually, because of this card, use Meteor Drytron 3 times in a single turn rather than using it just twice, which is absolutely insane. And then we're playing double Cyber Emergency, triple Cyber Emergency. I want to talk about double Cyber Emergency, triple Cyber Emergency, and then the 1 Foolish Burial on top of that. Remember, all your Drytron monsters can tribute monsters from your hand and be special summoned from the graveyard as well, and that also goes for your ritual monsters as well. So if you get Ash Blossomed and your Alpha, you're not able to get your Benton in the graveyard, just so you can be able to Meteor Drytron to special summon it, then the Foolish Burial will help you get that to the graveyard as soon as possible. So yeah, that's it for the for our just normal spell cards, generics, for our normal Drytron spells. Onto the generics. Playing the 1 Terraforming. I'm ashamed to say I play this card, but I have to. I'm sorry. I play 2 copies of Mystic Mine. I've tried cutting this card out just because I don't want to get too used to it. Like, I have a feeling that even post Power of the Elements, I will still try and play Drytron. I do just love this deck so much. Like, the past 3 months, this is the only deck I've played. Nothing else, and it is absolutely insane. But I don't want to get too used to playing Mystic Mine, because I think we can all agree next ban list it's gone, and yeah, for good reasons. This card is absolutely crazy and will help break your opponent's board altogether, considering you can just go for your play, your Lyraloose play, and then all of a sudden just blow up your opponent's field at the with double Azus at the end phase, which is really good. And then the final 3 cards with we're playing triple Forbidden Droplet and the 1 Call by the Grave. Forbidden Droplet with this deck is absolutely busted. If you don't own Forbidden Droplet, even though it's just got a reprint. I would say just play Dark Ruler No More. The only downside to playing Dark Ruler No More over the Forbidden Droplet is the fact that you are at risk of getting Scythe locked, and Scythe locks tend to always happen during standby phase or draw phase as well, so Droplet is always going to be that card that you want to see, you know, just in general. Otherwise you're going to be in a bit of a predicament. And then the only trap cards we're playing, these technically are bricks, which is the reason why I said I'm contemplating to just remove the Magic Key engine from the main deck and just side deck it. Magic Key unlocking, this card is absolutely insane. This is an anti-Dark Ruler No More and an anti-Forbidden Droplet if your opponent doesn't send a trap card. SHADDOLL Schism, instant access to WINDA, and because of how the deck pans out, you know, Schism play is actually just so common. You do it all the time, and it's just so easy to do. The only thing I will say about this deck, though, is it is very prone to Nibiru. You still have the plays where you can just lock your opponent. I do side deck the one copy of Vanity's Ruler if I feel that things are getting a little bit too predictable and my opponent does side in the Nibiru. But this deck is not prone to is not immune to Nibiru in any way, shape, or form. So yeah. And then, oh yeah, the final ritual card, I forgot to mention this. The final spell card, ritual spell card we play is NEKROZ Kaleidoscope. So you use this to summon, this card's broken. This card's actually broken, and I can't actually express this enough on why it's busted. It literally is just a Foolish Barrier and App Cologne from your graveyard to special summon Brionic. And this gives you instant access to your, what's it called? To your SHADDOLL Schism, which is absolutely broken as anything. So this card alone is absolutely nuts. Over to the extra deck, we're playing the double copies of Mubeta Fafnir. This card is mandatory. I've seen loads of decks actually cut this down to 1 because of the fact that you don't actually need to run 2 as much. People say that, you know, you can end the game very, very quickly, even just with only using 1 Fafnir. The only thing is Fafnir really does help the grind game out quite a lot. It's a Foolish Burial, gets all your DRYTRON names even in your graveyard, and it's just overall just a fantastic card just to be playing at 2. I just want to point out as well, just because I managed to get the import Meteornus DRYTRON sleeves, like, look how sexy these are. Like, Jesus Christ, these are lovely. So yeah, so we're playing the 2 copies of Fafnir. The one Lyrilus's Assembled Nightingale. You're playing this literally just for AA Zeus. The one Downerd and then the one AA Zeus. Don't need to say too much about this this engine in any capacity, shape or form. This engine just clears fields, very easy to execute, and overall barely affects you because of the fact that everything again will activate. You can activate and summon all your monsters from your graveyard as well, which is absolutely fantastic. And then the one Beatrice. So Beatrice is absolutely mandatory in this deck in every capacity. Whenever it comes to bricking in general, or just not even being able to get DRYTRON names in graveyard, Beatrice will save your ass. And obviously just be able to get the search, get the sense of the graveyard, and obviously just carry on your plays from there, which is just really, really good. And because we're playing 3 Diviner of the Herald, it's very, very easy to go into. I'm playing for Synchro monsters, we're playing the one Herald of the Arclight. I did try and play, I believe I tried to play 2 copies of this, but I never felt like going into the second copy was relevant. But then you can say, like, well, Discovery, if that's the case, why play 3 copies of Thingy in general, 3 copies of Diviner of the Herald anyway. We'll go a bit further into when you see another part of my extra deck on why I actually like opening the Diviner of the Herald, but Herald of the Arclight 1 is, in my opinion, totally fine. And then here's where it starts getting a bit more interesting. We're playing the 1 copy of Ultimar Zolkin. This card's actually really good in this deck. And then the 1 copy of Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. This is the only Ultimar Zolkin combo that, cards you play. For the Link monsters, we are playing the 1 IP Masquerena. Loads of people cut this out. I quite frankly just think a generic Link 2 is just great. Don't think anyone can complain against one of those. The One Nightmare Unicorn to go with that. This is really, really nice to have, especially when you make your turn 1 play. Your turn 1 play actually has far too much resource just in general. You've got so many options and your opponent will struggle, which is a good thing because we want to have fun and we want our opponents to suffer. So yeah, the one Appaloosa, I like Appaloosa in this. You tend to make this more off of IP Masquerena rather than making this turn 1. I do just think that Appaloosa Bow the Goddess is just a great card just to be playing in general. Herald of Mirage Lights. This card is actually busted, and this is the reason for why I like playing multiple copies of Diviner. If I open the Diviner turn 1, I more than likely will search another copy or search Natasha or something like that, just to ensure that we can get a spell negate off in our hand when it's our opponent's turn. It doesn't stop Forbidden Droplet, obviously, which is why obviously the Magic Key, the Magic Key engine is really good. But it does actually just give you so much next turn advantage. The reason for this is because when this gets sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you get to add up to two ritual monsters or ritual spell cards from your graveyard. So obviously, if that's the case, and it's our opponent's turn, we're going to be getting the copy of, Benton, and we're going to be getting the copy of Meteorus DRYTRON back from our to our hand. So that way we have follow-up play, we have a tribute for next turn, so that way our opponent can, we can carry on our plays, potentially go for a gamma play straight away and just get everything at the ready, or even just go for a delta play so we can get additional hand advantage. The combos I will showcase you at the end are technically 2 card combos that all require a discard apart from one of them. But yeah, this is a great lineup for it. And then the last 2 cards, we're playing the one SHADDOLL App Cologne and then the one SHADDOLL WINDA. So this just literally helps get to the WINDA lock as quick as possible. And this is why IP Masquerena is actually very important, because it tends to be that after you, if your opponent can't play through this and can't get rid of the IP Masquerena during end phase, or the main phase 2, I believe it's, yeah, during the end of main phase 2, you're just gonna link these 2 off, and then link the WINDA and the IP off, and go for like an Appaloosa play straight after. Either that or even an access code play, but I don't actually run access code in this deck, and the main reason for that is because of the fact that this is such an explosive deck to the extent where you can just get Draconids on like 5,000 attack points with a Zeus or something like that and pretty much just push for game. It's very, very easy to end games with this deck. I'm just going to say that as well. You don't actually need the access code, but if you do want to run the access code talker in this, I don't really know what to suggest taking out. It's very, very difficult. But yeah, overall, this is just a great lineup. Linkuriboh is also something that I was contemplating a lot, but I felt that when going for Linkuriboh, I just didn't really need it as much. But yeah, that's it for the main deck and extra deck. Time to go to the combos. So for the first combo requires you to have a copy of Alpha and Zeta with a discard. In this case scenario, it's just going to be the Forbidden Droplet. It doesn't really matter what card it is. If it's another DRYTRON name, actually, it's better because that way you can just discard it. But yeah, anyway, let's go straight for the combo. We're going to start off with, we're going to tribute the Zeta. Tribute the Zeta. We're just going to place that here for the time being. We're just going to summon the Alpha. All right, Alpha's effect will trigger, and we're going to summon a copy. We're going to add a copy of Benton. We're then going to activate the effect of Zeta. We're going to tribute the Benton, and we're going to special summon the Zeta from the graveyard. Zeta effect will trigger, and we're going to add Meteorus DRYTRON to our hand. We're then going to overlay these 2 into a copy of Fafnir. Fafnir effect will trigger immediately, and we're going to Foolish Burial a copy of Gamma. We're now going to activate the Meteorus DRYTRON. We're going to detach a piece from the Thingamabobby from the Fafnir, and we're going to special summon Benton back. Straight away, we're going to activate Gamma's effect. We're going to tribute the Benton immediately. Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. Going beforehand just because I completely forgot. When we tributed the Benton off of the, off of the, for the Zeta, we do search, sorry, my apologies, a copy of Diviner of the Herald, obviously. So yeah, sorry, it's just because I'm doing this on on cam, is I'm not used to doing this as much. So yeah, so we're going to add Diviner of the Herald to our hand. We're going to then tribute the Benton for using Gamma's effect, and we're going to tribute these two. And now we're going to search for our copy of Editon. All right, so Editon's now in our hand. We're going to activate Meteornus DRYTRON. We're not going to target the Fafnir, because what will happen is if Fafnir gets Veilored, for example, we're going to be in a pickle, because if we target the Meteornus DRYTRON, if we target the Fafnir loses 1,000, and in the future, when I show you showcase you the next combo, the whole thing with the Beto Buster is it will screw it over, because you use this, you will end up using this for ritual material. So we're going to target the Alpha here, or Gamma, it doesn't matter which one out of the two. We're going to add this card back to our hand. We're going to link these two off now, straight away. We're going to go into Herald of the Mirage Lights. Very, very powerful card here. We're going to activate the Meteornus DRYTRON again. We're going to attach another piece. And we're going to summon a copy of Editon. Editon's effect is going to trigger, which is going to let us search our copy of NEKROZ Kaleidoscope. All right. Now, we're going to normal summon the Diviner of the Herald. This is going to let us Foolish Burial the Herald of the Arclight from the extra deck to the graveyard. And now we're going to search a copy of NEKROZ of Brionek. So NEKROZ of Brionek, Kaleidoscope, and a discard in our hand, which is great. So straight after, what I like to do, I like to just get this out of the way immediately. I'm going to synchro these, because now Diviner of the Herald is a level 6. We're going to synchro these two off. And we're going to go into a copy of Ultimate Zolkin. Sorry, the Meteornus DRYTRON is now in the graveyard. We're going to summon a copy of Ultimate Zolkin. I'm going to set the NEKROZ Kaleidoscope, which is going to trigger Ultimate Zolkin's effect, which is then going to let us grab a copy of Crystal Wing onto our field, which is overall, right now, this is absolutely broken. We're then going to activate the NEKROZ Kaleidoscope, and we're going to send from the extra deck a copy of SHADDOLL Apkalone. Apkalone's effect is then going to trigger. We're going to search Schism. All right. So now we've got Schism in the hand, which is really, really nice. And then what we are going to do, obviously Brionek is now on the field. So now we're just going to link these two off. And we're going to go into a copy of IP Masquerena. And then we've got a set Schism. And that is our end board. So on paper, it actually doesn't look like we've done a lot. Oh yeah, the Forbidden Drop, this gets discarded. So this is like a 2.5 card combo. Now it actually doesn't look like we've done a lot, but we have. The IP Masquerena is actually really important here. The reason for this is because IP Masquerena will allow us to get rid of the WINDA. Sorry, I'm going to move that over here. Get rid of the WINDA that we'll have on the field, because it will affect us in the later future when we go into next turn. The reason we put Herald of Mirage Lights here is actually just because if Mirage Lights get sent to the graveyard or destroyed, we do get to add the copy of Benton and Meteornus DRYTRON back to our hand. So we do have follow-up play for next turn. The Schism will be a thing here because of the fact that we have Ultimate Zolkin and Apkalone in graveyard. So when it comes to our opponent's turn, we can just activate the Schism, banish these two, and then all of a sudden now we've got a Winda lock on the field, which overall is absolutely amazing. I've literally made people cry at my locals for doing this board. It is extremely frustrating to deal with, but hey, remember, we are having fun. That is what matters. Whether our opponent struggles or not, it doesn't matter. We're having fun. Next combo. So this combo is a little bit different. So this is actually a 3-card combo. So, and this is the reason why I'm tempted to bump Prep of Rights to 3. And the main reason for why that is because it's going to be to do with this combo. So it's, again, an Alpha Zeta combo, but I'm going to showcase you guys a little bit different, as if we had DRYTRON Nova and Foolish Burial in our hand instead. Because remember, I did mention, I think I mentioned the thing, you can just do a full combo with just DRYTRON Nova and Foolish Burial, or even Cyber Emergency and a DRYTRON Nova. It's really just about getting the cards in the right place at the right time. So we're going to start off with activating we're going to ignore these cards just for the time being. They're going to stay in our hand. We're going to activate Foolish Burial first. Reason I like this is just such a good thing to do. So we're going to send the copy of Gamma to the graveyard. All right. So Gamma's now in the graveyard, and then we're going to activate the DRYTRON Nova, and we're going to summon the Zeta. So now, as you can kind of see, we've already established the standard things that we'd be doing here in general. So we're going to tribute the Zeta and summon the Alpha back from the graveyard. This is going to let us search for our copy of our baby girl herself, if I can find her, Cyber Angel Benton. All right, so we're going to activate Zeta's effect here, and we're going to tribute the Benton, summon Zeta. Zeta's going to search us a copy of Meteorus DRYTRON, and on the new chain, Benton's going to trigger, and we're going to add Diviner of the Herald back to our hand, okay? And then, as you guys probably have guessed, we're going to overlay these two, and we're going to go into our copy of DRYTRON Mu Beta Fafnir. So Fafnir's effect is now going to trigger. It's going to allow us to send a copy of Gamma to the graveyard. We're then going to activate Meteorus DRYTRON. We're going to detach a piece, and we're going to summon the Benton back. We're going to activate Gamma's effect, tribute the Benton, send this to the graveyard, summon a Zeta back or whatever's in your graveyard back, activate Benton effect on the new chain again, and we're going to be searching the Editon. All right. So now what we're going to do is, as I did before, we're going to activate the Zeta effects. Sorry, it's flipped upside down. Zeta, the Meteorus DRYTRON effects. We're going to target the Zeta. We're going to add this back to our hand. We're going to then link these two off. We're going to go for Mirage, Herald of Mirage Lights. All right. So now we've established these bits. We're then going to activate the Meteorus DRYTRON again. We're going to detach a piece of the thingy, and then we're going to special summon a copy of Cyber Angel Editon. So Editon, its effect is going to trigger, and we're going to be searching NEKROZ Kaleidoscope. We're going to normal summon the Diviner of the Herald. We're going to activate Diviner's effects. We're going to send a copy of SHADDOLL App Cologne to the grave. Oh no, we're going to send a copy of Herald of the Arclight to the grave. Sorry, I'm just doing things in some weird motion today for some dumb reason. I think I'm pretty tired just from going to locals. Bear with me for a moment, guys. So sorry about this. Always happens when you leave your cards lying around. Moral of the story, kids, don't leave your cards lying around. I'm going to add NEKROZ of Brionek to our hand. Sorry about that. To our hand. So we're now going to synchro these again, level 6. Summon Zolkin. Meteorus DRYTRON's in the graveyard. We're going to set what's it called thingy. We're going to set the the NEKROZ Kaleidoscope, and we're going to special summon the Crystal Wing due to Ultimar Zolkin's effect. Now we're going to activate the NEKROZ Kaleidoscope, and we're going to pitch the App Cologne to special summon the NEKROZ of Brionek. Now, obviously, as per usual, App Cologne's effect is going to trigger. We're going to add Schism back to our hand. We're going to add Schism to our hand, and then we're going to discard our card. All right. Then we're going to link these two off. We're going to go into our copy of IP Masquerena. All right. Here's where it starts getting a bit more interesting. So now we're going to activate preparation of rights here. We're going to search our copy of Magic Key Beto Buster. The second effect of preparation of rights is actually one that loads of people overall forget. Because of this now, we can add Meteorus DRYTRON back to our hand. And then we can activate the Meteorus DRYTRON using the Fafnir's cost, sending to the graveyard to summon the Beto Buster. Beto Buster's effect will trigger, which is then going to allow us to search a copy of Magic Key Unlocking. Straight off the bat, there we go. We've now got Schism, Crystal Wing, IP Masquerena, Herald of Mirage Lights on the field, all on the field now. So the reason why this combo is so good, Magic Key Unlocking is an anti-Dark Ruler no more and an anti-Forbidden Droplet. This card is really, really good and was the main reason for why, I can't remember what his name was, who played at the, I think it was the WCQ in America or something, was playing the Magic Key Unlocking in the main deck, was because of the fact that this stops, this does stop Forbidden Droplet. The thing with it as well is that in this case scenario, it looks like we've wasted 4 cards in our hand, which again is quite a lot. The moment Mirage Lights goes from the field to the graveyard, our hand advantage goes to 3 because of the fact that the Meteorus DRYTRON and the Benton will be returning to our hand. We draw for turn if we survive next turn, which more than likely we will, and we'll have 4 cards back into our hand again. So we'll have great hand advantage ready for next turn. These sorts of boards are just not right. Because all you just need to do during your whenever your opponent specials, your opponent summons, or when you know what they're doing, you're just going to activate the Schism, banish the Apcalone, and then bim bam bibbly boo, Dug Dibadome, we're going to summon SHADDOLL WINDA. And then this is the best part of it because of the fact that obviously Magic Key Unlocking's on the field. Once Magic Key Unlocking's used, this card's dead. When we've had enough or our opponent tries to negate the effect of WINDA, we can just trigger IP Masquerena. We can just link these 4 off, link these 3 off. Sorry. Bam. Appaloosa. And we can do this during our opponent's turn. Fair. Anyway, guys, that's it for the profile and the combos. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a comment and a like. Subscribe for some more videos, and thank you very much.